Hey guys, Garvey here. Today, in honor of Halloween, I just want to take some time to talk about what truly defines horror. It's not nearly as clear-cut as other genres, like comedy and drama. With comedy, if you can make someone laugh, it's a comedy. With drama, if you can make them feel sad or give them a certain sense of profundity, it's a drama, and a pretty good one at that. But with horror, it's a little bit different. People will shriek and scream while watching a horror movie. But after the fact, they'll say it's not true horror or authentic. They'll say it's cheap. Techniques such as jump scares are considered inefficient at portraying the essence of horror, even though it gets a good scare of the audience. So if startling or scaring someone isn't true horror, then what is? When I think about quintessential horror, I think about The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and The Shining. And these films have also garnered a huge amount of respect within the film industry as a whole. I think the ultimate element and goal of horror is to haunt. It's those films that haunt you like a phantom that I think truly stand out as the best horror films. Whether you have nightmarish visions of the film shots, or maybe the score still resonates in you, it just makes everything you look at after the fact just a tad more eerie. Whether it's the mirror images in The Shining, the look of horror on Mia Farrow's face when she sees her demonic child in Rosemary's Baby, or even the entirety of The Exorcist. When you use this haunting definition to describe horror, I think it leads to a lot of films ending up in the horror genre that you wouldn't really think about. I think something like Agia, The Wrath of God would fall into this category. It's not necessarily terrifying or spooky, but it haunts you. Roger Ebert said in his review of the film that it was the haunting vision of the cinema. The film might very well be more terrifying and horrific when you reflect on the picture after you've already watched it than it is during the moment, than while you're actually watching the movie, which I think is probably the biggest indicator of a film being true, authentic horror. Another non-horror horror film would be Apocalypse Now, which I think is adequately summarized at the end of the picture when Colonel Kurtz says, "Horror." A slightly lesser known film, but an equally brilliant one, would be Sorcerer. The whole film is completely soaked in dread and paranoia, always wondering how much further can they take their cargo. The scene when they're crossing the bridge is probably the most revered scene from the entire film, which I enjoy that scene a lot. I'm not trying to take anything away from it. But personally, the scene I always think about is near the end of the film when Roy Schneider gets lost in the desert and goes completely insane. So what do all of these non-horror films have to do with horror? Well, with these ones specifically, they're all about madness, a foray into insanity. Whether it was trying to find the city of gold, trying to assassinate a former colonel, or transporting sticks of dynamite, they all had to deal with madness, whether on a personal level or had to deal with the effects of insanity in the world or within other people. These attributes also apply themselves to typical horror films. In The Shining, Jack goes totally insane. In Rosemary's Baby, all of her neighbors are satanic nut jobs. And in The Exorcist, she's completely possessed by the devil himself. So it seems that horror is inextricably connected to the exploration of madness, which I think leads it to being one of the most imaginative genres in film. Because with most films, the audience is able to relate with the character, or at least relate what they're going through on some level. But with horror, it's different because very few people have any true experience or expertise in insanity or going completely crazy. So I think horror, unlike other genres, really tends to completely remove the audience from themselves. And I think the fact that horror removes the audience from itself in such an immense way leads into the films being so haunting. All you need is a glimmer of insanity to infest your mind. That's just about everything I want to discuss for this video. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this discussion. If you have any recommendations for great horror films, I'd love to hear it down below. If you liked the video, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.